The Legend of the Gundies. The elders were busy sorting out the young men. They were to be trained in the ways of the tribe. Everyone was picked according to his capabilities. Tree climbers to supply honey, hunters the game, swimmers the fish. Then there were to be guides, domestic police, warriors, mailmen, interpreters, gundies, storytellers, corroboree makers, and so on. These were very important positions. As there were no textbooks to refer to, the old men would constantly say, "Listen to the words." This was good advice. After all, their lives depended on memory. It was no mean feat for a man to learn 13 different languages, as well as the laws and customs associated with them. Jengri edged his way back to the back of the group, then over to the left, where he could see and hear everything without having to look up. He was of slight build, very short, and painfully aware of it. His thoughts were far away, when he was quickly brought back to his surroundings by hearing his name called. He was to be their main swimmer. As he walked forward, he looked for a sign from the old ones, but their eyes told them nothing. "They know, I just know that they know," he thought uneasily. "That's why they gave me this honour. Shall I speak up now and tell them?" Then, in an inner voice spoke, "How can they know? Tell no one what you have discovered." And so he kept quiet. But the old man knew everything concerning everyone in the tribe. They had observed him every day practicing his swimming, diving and staying under water longer than anyone else, until he himself began to take on a different look in the water. Whenever they went fishing, it was always Jengri that caught the most. The young ones called it luck, but the old ones knew that he had learnt the call of the fish, and would call the fish to him and catch them with two little hooks that he carried for that purpose. The years that followed were good years for all the young men who were gathered that day, and they all developed in spirit and power. Complete happiness came to Jengri the day he took himself a wife. She also was a very small person. When she stood at her full height, the top of her head just touched her husband's shoulder. The first time the tribe went on walkabout after the wedding was a happy time for all. When they reached the Brisbane River, Jengri and his wife were enchanted. They asked for and received permission to stay there. They said goodbye to everyone and went to live at the mouth of the river. They were very fond of fish and were always fishing. The husband would dive down deep while his wife waited anxiously on the bank for the bubbles, which were his signal to her to appear. Then she would dive down and help him bring the fish to the bank. They would camp from time to time at every bend in the river, and they gave every bend a name. Gradually the fish swam farther and farther up the river, with Jengri and his wife following them. One day he dived and caught a family of fish, father, mother and son. The father and mother were killed, but the son escaped and set out determined to warn the other fish that Jengri was coming, and not to answer when he called. The fish that wouldn't listen was soon caught and killed. The others joined the flight upstream. Soon the salt water came to an end and the fresh water flowed. But still they continued on until finally they came to the last waterhole, where the spring waters bubbled through. This place was called Mimbri. Quickly the fish called a meeting. "We must do something. We can't travel any further, so we'll have to make a trap for Jengri and his wife. Quickly now, gather all the moss and reeds and make a net. When he dives, we shall catch and hold him. His wife will get worried when he fails to appear and will come looking for him. Then we shall catch her too." When the fish caught them, they didn't know what to do with them, so they sent a message to the old and wise ones, saying that they would hold the prisoners pending their arrival. Not wanting to kill them, the old ones decided to punish them by turning them into something queer looking, that everyone would see and know them. And that is how it happened. They called him Miwar. We call him the platypus, and he still has the little hooks, the spurs on his back legs.